this winning lark is getting pretty routine for you not these days, is it? You must be really pleased after the weekend and everything.
Yeah, pleased. Yeah, it was a really good performance and really good away performance in many ways. I thought we played very well first half, controlled a lot of the game even though we were behind, but really pleased. And then second half looked really dangerous and had to defend well at times, like they make you defend, and it was a real challenge for us. But the boys came through it, looked really strong, really fit, and looked a proper team, which I was delighted about.
From the bits that I've seen and the bits I've heard, it sounded as though there was no panic at half time despite being behind. What do you do? What do you instill in the players to ensure that that's the case?
I think a lot of it comes from them. The experience they've had together and grown and having results and winning games different ways, going behind, coming back in games. Not ideal, of course, you know, we don't want to keep going behind, but nevertheless it's nice to have that feeling. If we do, then there's a way out of it, if and trusting and believing themselves. And I could sense it at half time. There was a calmness, but there was an understanding and a real fire within them as a group that I almost didn't have to really say it too much of them, which was a nice place for me to be. That I could sense that they were in a really good place, and they went out second half and played really well. So yeah, next challenge, you know, that was a big one. Everyone's different in this league, and now's a whole new one again on tomorrow night.
What are you looking like team-wise? Are you fully fit squad? Are you missing anyone?
We missed Dale, we missed Crooksy last week, so we're still waiting on them. Dale was quite ill towards the start of last week, so getting him around the group again, see how he is, fits in. And Crooksy's touch and go at the moment, so we'll just make a late call on him.
It does seem though, since you came in, you've had quite a lot of fortune with injuries. How good is it been to have a big squad for most games to choose from?
Yeah, for me it's brilliant. I mean, it in some ways makes the job harder because you've got to choose from real good players and good people, and a lot of them deserve to play. But it's a great place to have the options and trust in the players of whoever ends up playing or comes on the pitch. And they're pushing each other is the biggest thing, I'd say. You know, the performances and whoever plays and in training, and they're pushing each other all the time, and that can only benefit each individual, but certainly the team moving forward.
I know obviously we've asked you a few times, and you're quite fed up getting asked about potential promotion, challenging the two teams at the top, but the gap's really closed now with that 6-point swing at the weekend. Can you understand why those questions are being asked?
Yeah, of course I can understand. It's only natural, and it's fine. You know, I expect them to be asked. It's and it's great. You know, it shows there's obviously a lot to play for, and there's a lot for the fans to get excited about at the moment, and that's what supporters should. You know, they should dream and get excited and come with an extra spring in a step and support the team. Fantastic. It's just, I keep going on about in terms of for us to perform, you know, we've got to have a slightly different mentality to that. And I have to say the boys have been really good in recent weeks, especially of dealing with good performances, dealing with a defeat, and being really calm and composed either way, not getting carried away, and trusting what they do with each other and sticking by each other. And at the moment we're getting rewards for that.
Do you think that they're playing at the top level, or do you think there's still more to come?
There's always more to come. There's always more to come. I keep driving them mad about pushing and never be satisfied, and it's never enough. And I honestly believe that. I think that the amount individually they've grown and improved the performance and grown in the confidence as much as anything. But and as a team, yeah, certainly there's more to come. I'm really encouraged. There's a lot of young players in there. The older players, there's still things they can improve on, and growing together. It's only been, don't even know what it is now, 5 months or so. So this we're still kind of layering and putting things on top to try and improve all the time, which is brilliant. It's what I enjoy.
When you look at your home form in the league since you came in, 22 points from 24 available. I know managers always say they want to try and make the home stadium a fortress. You've done that, haven't you?
Yeah, I think that's credit to the supporters as well, of how they've backed us and the way they get behind us, and hasn't always gone to plan. You know, sometimes in games we've ended up winning it late, but they've been patient. They've been right behind us, and see the boys trying to do certain things and backing them, and that's so powerful. You know, to feel that, and the boys appreciate it. And then on the flip side, the boys have repaid them with some really good performances and scored goals for them to come and support and enjoy. So it works both ways, but it's something that the bond's grown all the time. I can feel it, and the boys certainly appreciate it.
And just looking at the January transfer window, obviously that was your first transfer window as a manager, your first one here. It looks like you've signed well. The players that have all come in have all made an impact. We saw two that the loan lads scoring at the weekend. How nice is it been to sort of, I know you might not have looked back, how nice is it to sort of realise that's worked or it's working for you? Yeah,
the boys have came in have settled really well, all of them in their different ways, and are a really important part of the group. It's never straightforward. It's never easy with transfers, bringing players in terms of will they settle, will they, especially some of the younger players, it's a time when they'll have ups and downs and form will go up and down, but they've been great. All three of them have been really good, so we're delighted the way it's gone, but we're still looking ahead and pushing them for a little bit more, and trying to help them and develop them while they're all players, and improve them, and that's what we enjoy doing as coaches.
Just for me, what's this place like at the moment? Like coming in the morning, seeing the players, I guess they're all bouncing in the place, desperate for the next game to come around, and there'll be no tiredness or anything like that. What is it like to be at the forefront of that, if you like?
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, I have to say though, from day one, I found that kind of buzz and energy around the place, and full backing from everyone, players, staff, all in it, fully in it, given what they have in different ways, and it's great to see people coming into work, like you say, with a spring in a step, bouncing. Can't wait to get here, and yeah, of course, work hard. It's not easy. It's not a holiday, and we need to keep striving to be better, but it's a lot easier when you're coming in with a smile on your face and you enjoy what you're doing.
Hi Michael, just a quick one, something Keith said there about the options you've got up front. Having those players fit and available is one thing, but they also add different elements to the game as well. How important is it that you've got that versatility up front as well?
Yeah, versatility is important. It's great to have the options, the flexibility of it. I think the other part is the connections between them and the appreciation as a group for each other and what each other brings, and working, to create space for each other. It's not for individuals. They all bring different things, but they just do what they do. There's a really good connection, and whoever plays, and that's the biggest thing for me that I love to see, that they're working with each other to bring out the best in each other.
And obviously it's reaping the rewards. I think I counted you've scored 20 goals since the start of the year. But you're coming up against Stoke, who are quite a difficult team to play through, and you play quite expansive football. How are you going to kind of square that circle? How does it alter how you approach it?
Yeah, of course it alters things. We'll tweak things. We'll look at them as they look at us, and try and see strengths and maybe things what we can expose. But they're a good team. They're a really good team. Defend well, press well, really well organised, and are definitely dangerous going forward. So it's a good challenge for us. Every game's different. I say it all the time. Different styles of play, different ways of playing, and we just got to trust what we do and bring our best version of us.
Just looking back at the weekend, obviously going 1-0 down and to come out 3-1. Johnny Howson played a fantastic game at the weekend. How important is it that you have those senior players leading by example in a group where there are so many young players?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, fortunate to have some really good characters and leaders within the group, and leaders in different ways. Some lead by example, like you say, Johnny. Model professional, great example of how to kind of prolong your career, how to behave, how to bring out the best in yourselves. He's been a credit to himself since I've come and worked with him. He's a real pleasure to work with, and then you got some of the other boys are a little bit more vocal, and but I can trust them all. That's the biggest thing for me, and trust them all, and they have their say in it, and sometimes they work things out for themselves on the pitch, which was even better for me. And like I said the other day at half time, you're looking to them lads to certain situation, in good and bad, to manage the group, and it feeds through, and the younger boys couldn't hope for a better group of senior lads to learn from and look up to, really.
And just in terms of the, as Keith mentioned, the kind of promotion chase, obviously Sheffield United play Sunderland this week. Will you be keeping an eye on that just to see how that shifts the dynamics at the top of the table as well?
I can't hide from it, so of course I'll know. But in terms of shifting dynamics, really for us, it doesn't shift the dynamics. It shifts. Of course, it might alter the league. The league's going to change at some point. Good for us, or maybe not so good for us. But it doesn't. Shouldn't alter the dynamics of the group and what we do day to day. That's what I said before. The boys have been good at managing that, staying level, and regardless of what happens this week, we'll approach next week and in the international break, and after that is as best as we can and try and stay the same level-headed.
Great. Stoke come here in good form as well, Michael. You mentioned the strengths that they bring down in decent form right now.
Yeah, good form. They've had some really good results, and as I said, as a team, really well coached, really well organised, and really good team. So we'll have to be ready. We'll have to prepare right, and I'm sure the boys will be in the right frame of mind.
And obviously, you know, with good results that you have and expectations rise, but you know, is there that concern that you've got to manage those expectations as well, so you're not getting carried away?
Genuinely not concerned about the lads. I think they've managed themselves really well, as I said, about the ups and the downs, and you know, we all know what the league position is and what's at stake. Of course we do. There's no hiding from that, but there's a way of going about it to try, what we feel maximises our chances of success, and you know, there's a way of preparing for games, there's a way of being in the right frame of mind for games, and the boys have done that ever so well.
You talked there about half time, and I think at the weekend you said the boys, you know, almost managed themselves with the way that they, you know, were saying the right things. And what does that tell you about that group of players at the moment?
It tells me that they're a good group in terms of level-headed, but a real understanding of you know, what we're trying to do, how we're trying to play, how we're trying to behave in some ways. So for me, it's fantastic to see that they're right into it, and they've bought right into it, and they're developing themselves as individuals and as leaders. And it doesn't have to be leaders just because you're the older players. You can be a leader as one of the younger players as well, and leading your own way, and they're all doing it in their own way and bringing out the best in each other, which is great to see.
Yeah, and is that, for want of a better word, a concern when you kind of first come into a club? We spoke back then about, you know, you had principles, you had ways you wanted your team to look, but you know, when you first come in, you'll never ever know whether a group will cater to that. Is that kind of one of the major things when you're coming into a club?
That's just a challenge, I think, coming in. It's my first time. Obviously, I've came into a club in this one. Obviously, my other coaching roles was at a club that I knew ever so well for so long. So yeah, of course, there's that element, but that's part of coaching. You know, that's part of knowing the players, bringing out the best in the players that you have, and that's a challenge that I really enjoy.
Yeah, and how close are we to, you know, what you would call, like, if you like, your perfect kind of side, your perfect setup?
There's never anything perfect in football. You improve, and you will like a lot of things about the way we're playing, but there's always so much to strive to be better all the time in different ways. So it's not about being close or not close. It's just we are where we are, and how can we make them small steps to become a better team.
Yeah, and just going back to the weekend, we've spoken about the options in the squad. Obviously, Isaiah missed out. Where's he at the moment? Seems to be going through a difficult period right now.
I think the team's just playing well. I think it's not easy to make changes to the team in some ways. It is because the squad's really good and the boys are training well. But at the same point, the boys that have played are in a good moment and a good rhythm and a good timing. So that's part of the squad. You know, that's part of the squad, and having good players in the squad and working hard to get in the team.
Yeah, and you know, obviously he'll want to be in the team. I mean, from his point of view, is he just going through one of those stages that young players go through where they might have a different form? Is there something you want to see a bit different from him?
I think in any career you have times as a younger player, as an older player, where things go for you. Sometimes things don't go for you so much. Every player in the squad will have had that at some point. So that's just the challenge of having a career in a game and weathering them periods and believing in yourself and working hard enough to play well at your best and trusting what you do. So that's for every player in the squad, and I have to say the boys have been really good at bringing out the best in themselves so far.